Hey guys, welcome back to another episode of the Post Game Spread. We just had on Ben Hartl for a part three here. Ben being the, SHS grad, Heartland Community College All-American, University of Kansas, and draftee of the Rangers in 2024. We just had him on a couple months ago, and his story was just incredible. The most composed, well-spoken, put-together 22-year-old I've ever met, and I'm not saying that as an exaggeration by any means. And I had this thought the other day in the middle of the night, and I wrote it down, and I texted Ben the next day, and I said, hey, man, what if we checked in every once in a while in your first full pro baseball season where you get to go to spring training, you get assigned to a team right at the year, how it goes, the ups and downs, and I thought it'd be fun for him to check in, and I had some curious questions of my own, and again, blown away with Ben Hartl. I feel like every answer I hang on. It's incredible. I can't believe he's 22 years old and he speaks like he does. This guy is wise beyond his years. It's incredible. I hope dads are out there listening. I said this last time. I hope kids are out there listening. Up and coming baseball players. These are the clues to success. Really fun. Ben and I have a nice fun back and forth here. We go for about 50 minutes and it was great. So I hope you guys enjoy it. We're going to try to check in with him around the All-Star break, maybe a little before. But before we get into the Ben Hartl story here, I want to say thanks to some of my sponsors. You guys keep this ship rolling here. So thank you to the Hitting Center, Washco Strength and Speed, Body Symmetry, Sheehan and Sheehan Lawyers, Milner Dentistry, Stephen Kelly Law Offices, Bank of Springfield, Sitco Chiropractic, Glisten Heating and Air, the Eric Easley Real Estate Group, Cornerstone Financial, the Office Sports Bar and Grill, Christ the King Men's Club, BSN Sports, Cardinal Cleaning, Hammers Radon Mitigation, and last but not least, Hale Construction. All these people have deep connections to the sports community here, to the baseball community, and we really appreciate you. All right, enjoy Ben Hartl. All right. Here we go, guys. We're back for another episode of the Post Game Spread. I'm going to be your host, as always, Blake Helm. Sitting across from me now via Riverside, which is an app I use now, but is Ben Hartl. So we had Ben Hartl on a little bit ago. We had an incredible sit down and talk about his career and what he's been through already. 22, 23-year-old guy. It was incredible. I probably got the most feedback I've got of any guest after that one. Just flooding of coaches being like, this was incredible. I'm going to show this to all of my guys, all my players. Of course, Ben was a Springfield High School guy, Heartland Community College, University of Kansas, drafted by the Rangers in 2024 in the 14th round. And he just got through his first spring training. And I thought it would be really cool to kind of hear we're going to check in with Ben like as the season's going. So we're going to check in like right after spring training here. Maybe around the All-Star break and a few more times if we can get him on the line. But I thought it'd be incredible to hear what it's kind of like going through this first real full season of pro baseball and spring training. So we got assigned to the Hickory Crawdads in High A of the Carolina League. Is that correct? What's up, Ben?
What's going on? It's good to be here. Glad you're having me on.
Yeah. How are we doing, bud?
Doing great. I mean, it's great being here. It's great being assigned somewhere, and it's fun to start playing some ball again.
I hear that, man. Before we get into kind of what's going on with you, I would love to hear about kind of looking back a little bit. How was your experience, coming on the podcast, and like, did you hear some interesting thoughts and feedback from people kind of after that wrapped up?
The podcast was great for me. It was great to go back down memory lane and relive some of those moments and hear what those coaches had to say about me. It was really cool, and also hear what Ananachi had to say about me. So it was really cool I even went back and listened to it, and it was pretty surreal. Honestly, didn't sound like me talking, but so that was the cool part. But it was great. I got a lot of great feedback, heard from a lot of people, and yeah, it was pretty special.
You were terrific, man. Speaking of Sam Ananachi, dude, you see this clip that's blowing up viral? Crazy. So if you guys don't know, some first baseman took a swing at old Sammy Boy the other day, and it is viral on the internet right now. You got any thoughts? Obviously, you've seen it.
Sam is the hardest nosed baseball player I've ever played against.
Yeah.
And it doesn't shock me. I didn't think it should have escalated to that, but hey, like guys just playing the game hard.
Can you take a guess of what was said back and forth, or do you know?
I have no idea. I have
You
zero
haven't talked
idea.
to him?
I would I I'm like, what did you say to him? He goes, I didn't say anything that should have done that. That did not deserve that. So I yeah, I'm surprised he didn't get one in the back the rest of the series or something like that. But
Man.
it looked like he balled out.
Yeah, absolutely. All right, man. So let's just get into the questions. I don't want to waste your time. This is your off day, your travel day. So I really appreciate you giving me a little bit of your time. I think this is going to be super fun. So I'm really curious to get a feel for like what your first spring training was like. So tell me like what was that first day when you showed up at spring training? Just tell me what you remember.
So I I actually drove my car out to Arizona. So I'm gonna bring it back to there. I went
Yeah,
27 hours by myself.
that's cool.
Stopped in Oklahoma, stopped in New Mexico. Like it was a good reset for me that through the off season, like I grinded and did all my stuff,
Yeah,
and I had a great time to reflect on that. So, I get to Arizona, I'm crashing on a buddy's couch, and I pull up to the facility, and I just feel all the coaching staff, all the coordinators, stuff like that, and I just can see him again, and we're like best friends. Like it's a family atmosphere with the Rangers,
oh,
and
cool.
it's great that I'm dapping them all up, giving them handshake, giving them hugs, stuff like that. So it was a really great, like heartwarming feeling that like, all right, I'm back home. Let's get to work now. So yeah, it
Love
was
that.
really good.
So feeling good and confident, and instead of feeling like, oh, kind of overwhelmed or what's this going to be like, I like where your headset's at with that. And that sounds cool that you had all this time by yourself on this drive to reflect kind of on all the work you put in, where your head's at, and where you kind of want to be going. That totally checks out with all the stuff that we kind of talked about in your first time here. So what was like a typical day like for you in spring training? You know, in terms of getting up and like dot process all the way through.
Yeah, so the Rangers have a ton of great accommodations. I stayed in an apartment across the street. It's called the Rangers Village. It's Rangers players only. So I literally woke up. We'd probably get up around 6:30, 7. Get to the facility by 7:15, 7:30. They have a cooking staff there, so all our breakfast and lunch is made for us. So I'd eat breakfast. I'd go get a lift in, go do my hitting routine, go do a hitting on field BP, go do my catching work, go catch bullpens, and then go recover and do the same thing the next day. It was very repetitive, but in a good way.
Yeah, yeah,
So yeah, it was great. It was very tailored to the player and
yeah.
very like strategic of how like our time is managed. So it was I was just impressed of like how organized everything was with 175 minor leaguers around.
Now, when does the day end?
Probably around earlier in spring training gets done earlier. When games start, we get done around like probably 5:30.
Yeah, yeah.
So you have a 7 to 5 day, pretty much every day. I only had two off days the whole spring training. So
Physically and mentally exhausted by the end of the day?
by the
Or
end of
were
the
you
day,
at?
yeah, the last
Yeah,
thing you want to do is do more baseball. But that's how I know, like, I left it all on the field. I did everything I could,
mm,
and that kind of gave me
yeah.
that satisfaction at the end of the day that like I can go to sleep knowing I gave everything I could to the game, and let's go do it again tomorrow.
No, that's beautiful, dude. I love that. I guess I kind of already said this a little bit. Was there ever any overwhelming moments there? Like, oh, I'm rubbing elbows with this big leaguer right now, or do you just feel like you belonged? Like you said, this was like this family atmosphere.
I kind of felt like I belonged. There was like overwhelming times. Like one thing I talked to the buddy about is like in spring training, you always have somewhere to go or something to do. And if you're having like 15 minutes in between drills, you're like, am I doing something wrong? I'm like checking the schedule. I gotta be
Yeah,
somewhere. Like
right.
this is wrong. But I think that's probably the only like stressful part. That's like you either have a lift to do, you should go do more recovery, you should go do more extra hitting. So it's like kind of managing your time, managing your body, and listening to it how like listening how it feels. I think that's like the most like strenuous part. But at the end of the day, like
Yeah.
it was still so fun to be around the guys and hang out and play ball.
It's yeah. All right, I love that. How was the instruction? This was obviously your first spring training. I mean, you're hearing from all these different people within the organization. Do you feel like too many voices or an appropriate amount, or like, sorry, that was like a multifaceted question there. Answer
No,
the best you can.
no, the instruction was incredible. That
Yeah.
I've learned the most about baseball in my entire life than I did in those 45 days. Like it was
Really? Wow.
live, breathe baseball. And
Hmm.
it wasn't just like, it was just more conversations, more than just instruction. It was learning the game. The Rangers, we pride ourselves on like being just ball players. We want to out baseball people, and that's what like when we play games, we'll have like ball talks where we'll take clips from the game and we'll talk about the next day of like either things we did really well, things we did not do very well, but it'll never
Hmm.
be the game winning home run. It'll never be that big strikeout that guy had. It was how did he get there, and how did we put our like team in the best situation to win. It was the guy backing up the base. It was did we perform the bunt coverage correctly. And those things, like the little things, go so far in baseball. And that's kind of what like I learned so much about in like catching wise. Like I had to deal with 80 to 90 pitchers, and I've caught maybe 15 of them in low A last year. So it's like I'm trying to learn all these guys' arsenals. I'm trying to learn the ins and outs of who they are and how they
Yeah.
pitch, how they like what's their clock like. So I think that's what I learned the most about, just learning people, how to read people,
Yeah.
and I think that only prepared me as a baseball player even more.
What an incredible answer. It's so amazing what catchers have to, the extra duties and things that they have to manage, right? Like as an outfielder, like all I had to worry about was like, being in the right position and my hitting essentially. And like that was about it. But you have to worry about all that plus managing a staff, managing egos, knowing them, thinking through situations. I mean, yeah, I have so much respect for that. I love that. How were the games? And I saw that you had a call up there, dude, to the big league guys.
The games were fun. The games were fun.
Yeah.
Playing every day. Like I said, we were managed very well. Like
Hmm.
the very start, we probably played 3.5 weeks of games before we got it all sent out. But like for me, like I would catch 3 innings, I'd have a day off. I'd catch 4 innings, I'd have a day off. Five, and it kind of just progressed into, all right, you're catching nine every other day because that's what you're going to be doing
Right.
in the affiliate. So yeah, no, the games were great. Got some time at first base. I got some time at second base a little bit, and
Yeah.
catching a little bit. But yeah, the call up was pretty cool.
Talk about it. Let's talk about it.
So they always bring minor league extras to the games because
Yeah.
major leaguers, like whenever they're done, they're done. They just take
They're
off.
outie, right?
Out there. So it's like, okay, if say Jake Berger wants out at first base, like they'll either have another major league guy go in and play first, or they'll throw me or something like that. So it's kind of, we put the pieces of the puzzle together, and they're like, hey, you might actually get in today. I'm like, well, that's awesome. Like my family's going to be here. My family's in town. Jared Washko is in town.
Oh,
And it was really cool that they're like, all right, we're going to make sure you get in. And I didn't know. So in the fifth inning, they're like, Hartl, get hot. I'm like, okay, that's cool. And so first pitch, I'm playing first base. First pitch, Randy Rosarina flies out to me, and it was kind of like that surreal moment. We're playing with J.P. Crawford and Rowdy Tellez, all these like big league names. That I'm like, man, this is cool. But at the same
yeah.
time, it was the same game. Like I still just enjoyed it as much as I could, and it was the same game.
Your mindset is incredible. You're 23? You're
22.
24 now.
Just turned 22.
22?
Yeah.
I, I can't believe it, man. Your mindset is incredible. Do you feel like your off-season conditioning and skill work was on point where you needed it to be?
Yeah, I do. I do. I felt like I did enough this off season to the point where I hit spring training, like I hit the ground running. I really emphasize like conditioning my lower half, and lower half is
Hmm.
held up well. I'm going on 2 months now to the day that I've been
Okay.
playing baseball every day. So body feels great. We're gonna keep getting after it, and yeah, I feel like I did enough.
I love that. Did they make any adjustments with you in spring training? Any instructors, anything hitting wise or anything like that?
There was some adjustments made. Honestly, it was more just to get me back in the habit of seeing live pitching. You get so used to seeing overhand, like an overhand BP thrower or machine, that whenever you get 95 to 98 dialed in on you, like, all right, we got to make some adjustments timing wise, but nothing
Mhm.
like truly to the swing. Like maybe my routine has changed a little bit, like feeling different ways, feeling different like feels that I need to feel before I step in
Mhm.
the box. But nothing
What are some
like,
of those feels? That's perfect. That's the next question, actually. What are your
yeah.
feels that you need on the on deck? That's the next question. What are you thinking on the on deck circle?
So right now, I'm just dialing in my approach. I'm 8 games into the season out of 140 games. Like
Right.
whatever has happened so far is literally just kind of a case study of, okay, who am I going to be the whole year?
Yeah.
And I don't want to, if I've had success, if I haven't had success, I'm taking it more as, okay, who am I like as the hitter, and how can I best benefit myself, best benefit my team, and really kind of just dial in like, okay, where am I looking? What pitches am I looking?
Mhm.
Where in the strike zone do I hit the ball best? Where do I don't?
Sure.
So like for me, like I like to hit the ball closer to my body and down.
Yeah.
That's kind of like my go zone. When I chase up, that's where I don't have as much success. So it's like,
Yeah.
all right, where am I looking in these zones? Am I on time for it? Am I looking for balls over the heart of the plate? Am I hitting, seeing spin well? So
Yeah.
it's all like an all encompassing thing that I say all these things, but at the same time, I just got to hit the white ball between the white lines. And
Yep.
so yeah, it's been great. It's been a lot of I've had a lot of great talks. My hitting coach here in Low A is absolutely incredible.
Hmm.
Love him and have a lot of great conversations and kind of dialing in that approach.
I love that, dude. When you're so when you're catching, it looks like you're so you just said, are you catching every other game? Is that what it's going to be? Or they've told you that?
It's kind of like it's very monitored. They said the goal for me would be catch like 3, 4, 5 times a week, and hopefully be in the lineup almost every day with a
So
rare
then
off.
on the other days, maybe first, maybe second, maybe
First.
DH.
I played some first. I've DH'd already, like, but I think we played 9 games. I've caught 6 of them already. So,
Hmm.
yeah, definitely the majority of it will be catching, and
Hmm.
so I'm getting ready for that.
How do you feel DHing? What's that feel like?
It's definitely different. You
Yeah.
definitely hear like whenever you're not playing defense, you're not locked in all the time. So it's like,
Yeah.
um, it's
Keeping
definitely
your mind
different.
in it, right?
Exactly. Like I catch myself pacing myself back and forth in the dugout, and honestly just staying locked in, staying on the top step, staying near the pitching coach, kind of pitching coach, hitting coach, kind of having those conversations of like, all right, I'm not
Hmm.
checking out completely. I'm just trying to stay locked in for the
Yeah.
team.
I love that. This is a random question, but when you're throwing down to second, like if the guy's stealing, are you finding seams? Or are you just grabbing it and ripping it?
My goal is to find seams. So
Yeah.
anytime between innings, I will find them. Like I'm not here to pop a 1-8 in between innings. I really don't need to. I just
Yeah.
need to feel like seams, feel on top of the ball, throw it. But in the game, like now it's ball out of hand, foot down, go.
Yeah.
So yeah, I'm not trying to find seams. If it's there, cool. But
Yeah.
if not, no.
I don't know if this makes, if this is, if it actually works, but I used to keep a baseball like in my cup holder in my car. And like as I would drive around, I would just continuously find seams. Like I would move it and then find seams, move it, find seams, move it, find seams.
I do the same thing. I do the same
Really?
thing. Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
Okay, I love that. Maybe I'm not as crazy as I think. How did you divide time? So obviously you have utility capabilities. How did you divide time in spring training between getting reps at first and, second, maybe some third and stuff like that too?
Yeah. So they're really good about it. So usually like we do catching instruction every day for like about a half
Mhm.
hour, 45 minutes that we catch off the machine, look at video, stuff like that. And some days they'll be like, Harl, just go to first. Just go take some stress off your legs, go explore those other positions, go take some work. So probably 5 days of the week I do catching and the 2 others I do first base. So
Okay.
it's not like I'm primarily a catcher. That's the main
Yeah.
main point of emphasis here. Like when I'm in the affiliate over here, if I'm catching that day, I won't touch my first base glove. I won't. Like
Yeah.
I'll only focus on catching. But if I have a day off, if I'm playing first, if I'm DHing, I'm shagging at first. I'm taking ground balls, BP, like
Hmm.
still trying to make myself as applicable as possible to the field.
Yeah. Love that. Hey, did I have it wrong? So is Hickory low A?
Low A. Yep.
Low A. I don't know. Okay. I think they bounced around. All right. Gotcha. The low A, and you're going to play about 140 games if you don't move around.
Yep. 140.
Okay. Okay. You don't know this question's coming. Here we go. The organization determined that you're a low A guy right now, Hickory, tool wise, skill wise. Um, do you feel like your hair is big leagues though? And how do you combine the skill set? If this organization thinks you're low A, tool wise, but your hair is big leagues, how do you bring those guys together?
Um,
And let me just say, this guy's hair looks incredible. It always has. Big league hair right here. I'm just asking a goofy question.
I mean, hair is just hair at the end of the day. You got a hit to be in the big leagues, so we'll get there eventually.
You got that part down though, man. You're ready.
Oh, yeah.
If it was based on follicles, you'd be in the show right now. So how are you liking your new coaching staff, man? Tell me about them a little bit.
They're great. They're great. My manager is Carlos Maldonado, longtime minor league catcher, got some big league time, and
Saw that.
just an incredible human being that shows a strong presence in the locker room.
Mhm.
Really takes us like we're a low A team. I'm one of the older guys on the team, kind of
Mhm.
like a team leader. So I'm managing a staff where the oldest pitcher is 20 years old.
Wow.
So it is very young. He was a catcher, so he really takes the catchers under his wing of like, you
Mhm.
need to manage the staff as best as you can, and that will best serve the team. And that's really cool to have those conversations of like before the game, we talk with the pitcher, we talk just with the catchers, like what's the game plan, stuff like that. And he's incredible just to have that presence. And he's a Latin guy, so
Mhm.
bilingual, which is the coolest thing. It's super underrated in this game,
Oh man, yeah,
and just to have that ability to like interact with Latin guys as well as the Americans. So it's like that's the coolest part to me is like I'm learning all these Latin terms and applying them to baseball, which will
yeah,
benefit me so much down the road when I have to call a mound visit to a
100%.
Latin pitcher and he doesn't know any English, but I can piece together some Spanish.
Yeah, it's always incredible when you hear about a catcher put in the effort, like in an off season or whatnot, to learn Spanish and get more proficient in that and be able to communicate better with their staff. Because it
Yeah.
would suck to be a pitcher out there and there's this you can't really talk to them besides a few hand things, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Duolingo works wonders. Duolingo. I got a pretty good streak going, so I'm working on my Spanish.
I love it, dude. How are your living accommodations? The minor league life can be interesting. Sometimes you're in an apartment, sometimes host family, sometimes very meager,
Yeah.
sleeping on, air mattresses in the kitchen. What you got going on right now?
So the MLB Players Association in 2022, uh,
Oh yeah.
they
Sorry.
gave us free housing. So I'm staying in an incredible apartment right now, room by myself. I don't have to pay for it. I don't. It's all accommodated
Wow.
by the Rangers. It's
Is that all across the minor leagues?
all across the minor leagues.
I did not
So
know. That's
it is
incredible.
all. We get meals now. We get
Yeah.
housing, and they increased our pay as well. So it's
Yeah.
like you hear these gritty minor league stories from 5, 10, 15 years ago.
Right.
And yeah, you hear guys sleeping on air mattresses, trying to find
Hmm.
living situations or trying to sublease apartments for 3 months left of the season.
Yeah.
And I'm over here living in, it seems, a paradise. And I literally can't complain about it once. It's incredible.
Right.
I have my own room. I have a great kitchen. And
It's
yeah,
awesome.
it's awesome.
I wonder if like older, saltier guys will be kind of like upset that you guys didn't have like the same rite of passage going through like the hardship of minor league life?
Yeah, they definitely could seem that way of like you guys aren't getting the full experience.
You're not getting the real shebang. Yeah. So did you like some guys pick up some interesting stuff in spring training? Did you get any like, grab someone's bat here or BGs or, swag stuff, anything like that? Bring back anything cool from spring training?
Oh, I got a lot of bats. I got a lot of
Yeah,
bats. I love to collect them. I probably have 30 in my car right
yeah,
now. Just,
yeah.
hey, you want to trade? Like, it's cool. Um, but no, like big leaguers like handed out some stuff. I know some of my buddies, like Corey Seager, had these Seager 5 cleats that he didn't wear, so he gave like 30 pairs out to some guys. So some guys are rocking those around right now.
Really?
But other than that, not really too much swag or anything. But yeah,
Okay. Now, did you get everyone's, all spun up about these torpedo bats now? Have you got one of those things in your hand?
I'm trying my best to get my hands on. I just want to see the
Right?
difference. I'm trying. I want
It's
to.
interesting, right?
It's very interesting, and the emphasis, like the point of it, just makes sense. It does.
Right.
It's. I
Absolutely.
don't think it's cheating or anything. I think it's
No.
finding a loophole around like this is where the mass of the barrel will be. This is where you make your
Yeah.
hardest contact. Why would we make
Yeah.
that the skinniest part of the bat?
Right.
And so, yeah, I'm trying my best to get my hands on one.
Like, do you have an order in, or what's the plan?
I'm pretty close with a few bat companies, and
Yeah, yeah,
I'm not scared to go ask here in a little bit.
yeah. So, what are you swinging currently,
Right
model
now,
wise?
I'm in between a bunch of bats. So, have you seen like the Marucci bat fitting?
Yeah.
So they put all the wires on you. So I got to do that in spring training, which is
Oh,
super cool,
cool.
super cool.
Yeah.
So they fitted me with this. I don't even know the model of bat, but it's a super balanced bat with a puck knob at the bottom.
Hip knob.
So
Interesting. Yeah.
swinging that
And that's like
right
a, that's like a little bit of like a counterbalance, correct? Is that
correct.
right?
So it's
Hmm.
like a 35, 33 and a half. So there's an inch and a half at the end of it. So that's the
Yeah.
35. So it's a 33 and a
Right.
half actually. But it counterbalances the weight. Like it feels heavy, but when it's in your hands, it's not.
It
So it's
doesn't.
like
Yeah.
the science is the more mass behind the ball with the most acceleration, like further the distance, higher the exit
Hmm.
velocities. So,
Yeah.
yeah, I'm kind of swinging that, but I'm still kind of playing around with bat models a little bit.
Hmm.
I got 30 to choose from, so
Yeah.
I got some options.
Yeah. Well, I'm sure you'll get your hands on these torpedo bats. Everyone's trying to get them right now. Like every
Yeah.
manufacturer is like scrambling to get them out to the masses because everyone wants them. So I'm interested to hear your thoughts when you finally do. Did you get to rub elbows with any big league guys that in spring training that were like cool or nice or
Yeah.
worth mentioning?
Um, yeah, I got to talk Tucker Barnhart a little bit, two-time Gold
Hmm.
Glove winner with the Reds.
Yeah.
We signed him, and he's just a great dude just to be around. I talked with Corey Seager a little bit. Alan Trejo, he was with the Rockies for a little bit. But honestly, who kind of took me under the wing the most is Bobby Wilson. He's our major league catching coach and development coach, and he really enjoyed like working with the minor league catchers and stuff like that. We'd go in and catch at 6:30, 7 o'clock in the morning, just because he like wanted to spend time with the minor leaguers, develop us, see our thoughts. So it was really cool. Just like whenever I did get to go back up those games in big league spring training, just to see how they went about the game.
Yeah.
So yeah, it was really cool just to see how they went about their business, how they treated the game, and yeah, it was cool.
Love that. Well, man, that Marucci story made me feel like I didn't d dive in enough to your spring training. Were there any other really cool experiences like that were like worth mentioning?
That was up there.
Okay.
I'm trying to think. Just to like be on the major league side, I got to go over there and work out a few times with the major league side.
Hmm.
Got to catch a lot of bullpens. Got to catch Kumar Rocker.
Oh
Um,
yeah, how was that?
it was
Electric
cool.
stuff.
It was cool. Well, so he
Yeah,
was just throwing a bullpen.
his story's
So
incredible.
he was just yeah, he was just guiding in 92, 93. Looked like he was throwing 30%. And then he's got a hard 85-mile-per-hour curveball.
Hmm.
But in his bullpen, I'm like, all right, I'm gearing up for this curveball. And he goes, throws it 58 miles an hour. And that's how he throws his curveball in bullpens.
Really?
It was the craziest thing I've ever seen. And then he goes in spring training and shows. So it's like these
Do you
guys
know
have
why?
all have I have no idea why. I, it was too scared to ask. I just dapped him up, good pen, gave him a pat on the
What's
butt.
up, dude? Yeah,
Yeah, that was about it. I went on my way.
yeah.
So it's like it was just really cool that like the Rangers have the minor league and the major league sides kind of together. Like our fields are kind of connected. So like you hear like the Dodgers, like the major league complex is a mile away from the minor leaguers. So they never get to see them. We're doing stuff together. We share the same weight room. Our locker rooms are 50 feet apart. So it's like,
Cool.
it's
Yeah.
really cool to see all of them around every day.
Love that. Maybe you answered this already, but was spring training a grind by the end? You're a baseball guy. I imagine you kind of loved every minute of it. Is it too long or could it be condensed? It's like 10 questions. Sorry.
I think it's a perfect amount. I will say that. I think if I would have got there in early January or stayed there another couple weeks, it would have been like, all right, this is very repetitive. It would have been hard to get through. I think physically, at the first couple weeks are like, all right, I'm getting used to the heat. I'm getting used to that Arizona time. But once you get in the routine of it, I think it's kind of the hardest part is mentally being able to show up every day and kind of put in that work, even though it is repetitive and it seems like you're doing the same thing every day and you're getting nowhere. Like that's the time that like, okay, there's some lag time to this. Like I may not feel great right now, but at the end of it, like 2 weeks down the road, 2 months down the road, 2 years down the road, it may be like I eventually like will figure it out and like benefit me that I'm putting in this work, even though like you don't feel 100%.
I do. So my next question is about your cleats, and I remember the last when we had our podcast here, you were wearing some fresh J1s,
Yep.
and I was wondering, have you ventured over into the J1 baseball cleat
They're actually in a shopping
era?
cart on my phone right now. So there's
Do it. Pull the trigger,
eventually
homie.
eventually I will. Eventually I will. But right now I I don't know. I was in the area. I'm gonna call it Underdog Sports in Springfield, Illinois.
I
I
remember
found
you said
these.
you were going there getting used cleats.
I found a pair, $22 brand new Hirachis, and I love them. I love them. So I've been wearing
Hilarious.
those every day. Yeah, I've been wearing those, and honestly, anything I can kind of get my hands on, I'll wear.
Yeah. So why have you not pulled the trigger on the J1s? Just pricey?
They're a little pricey for baseball cleats.
Yeah.
I need an agent or something to get me those. Well, I don't have an agent, so
Do you
you
subscribe to Look Good, Feel Good, Play Good? Is that in your wheelhouse?
I think there's a I think so, yeah. I think you gotta feel like a big leaguer to play like one. So
Yeah.
however that makes you, however if that's looks or mentally,
Yeah.
like I think that's a big piece.
For sure, dude. Okay, you already talked about your bat model and size. Oh, cool, man. This is incredible. You caught a no-hitter. Let's talk about this, right?
That was pretty special. That
Oh
was
my
pretty
gosh, let's talk about it. Yeah.
So it was the first game of the series, playing Augusta during the Augusta National, so that was really cool. We had to talk to them about a lot of golf and the Masters and stuff like that. So, yeah, like it was Tuesday night. I'm catching. It was a three pitcher no hitter. And honestly, just felt unreal. I'm like, in the fourth inning, I'm like, man, we've had one guy on base. We walked a guy in the second inning on a 3-2 count. Debatable call. But that was the only walk of the night. And I'm like, man. And he got erased by a double play. So that was even cooler. But I'm like in the sixth inning, I'm like, really? Like this could happen.
Are you starting to feel pressure in this moment because you're orchestrating this whole thing? You're kind of the puppet master of it, or are you in the flow of it?
I'm kind of in the flow of it. I've always heard guys like you can't talk. Don't talk.
Right.
Stay in your zone. Don't do anything different. And the coolest part is the last pitcher I played at Kansas with last year, Jay Brill Easley.
Oh, wow.
So that was the coolest part, that he closed out
Yeah,
the
that's
game
dope.
with 4 innings. And for a guy who has struggled a lot of his career with injuries, stuff like that, and he was sitting 91, 92 last year at Kansas. Now he's running it up to 98 and throwing a nasty split, 12-6 and a slider. And
Yeah.
it was really special. So like bottom of the 8th inning, I'm the last out of the 8th inning, and I run off the field. And everybody's like, what the heck is this guy doing? I'm like, man, I'm just excited to get back out there. I'm excited to catch. And So we get to like one out, get to two
Awesome.
outs, and I'm like, wow, okay. And this guy like hasn't sniffed the baseball all day. I'm
Yeah.
like, all right. He I'm like, I hope he strikes him out. I'm putting this ball in my back pocket, like nobody's getting it, like this is mine.
Yeah.
And so he grounds out to shortstop. We celebrate. It was just really special to see like those pitchers succeed,
Mhm.
execute their game plans, and like the fact that I had a piece of that. Like I called the whole game. The Rangers do a
Yeah.
great job of like letting the catchers call the games, which is
It's
awesome for
amazing.
our
Yeah.
development,
For
understanding the
sure.
game.
Yeah.
And so yeah, it was really special.
Did you end up getting a ball?
I got one of them. I got one of them that was used in the game, and
Yeah.
I actually got a stat sheet of it. And here's the coolest part of that is the last no hitters thrown at home. The starting pitcher for the Hickory Crawdads was Jose Fernandez, the guy that
Wow.
died in the
Yeah.
boating accident.
Marlins. Wow.
So crazy, like full circle. That was 13 years
Yeah.
ago he did that. So
Man.
it was some pretty cool baseball history that was made.
Well, good for you, man, for being a part of that and orchestrating it. Like I said, that's got to feel special, and I'm sure something that you'll never forget, right?
Absolutely.
Pro ball no hitter. I love
Absolutely.
that, dude. So you're under 10 games in so far still. How are you feeling at the plate? How's the competition? How's the pitching looking?
I mean, baseball's hard. Baseball's hard. Like I said, like
That's the truth, buddy.
these first couple games, like you're still trying. Yeah, I've had 50 at bats in spring training, but at the same time, like you get into a competitive atmosphere. The like it's just hard. It
Yeah.
is. I'm not trying to overreact by stats or anything like that. Like
Mhm.
started off really well, and then I guess you could say I struggled, but at the same time, like you'll never see like I've lined out 8 times and I've hit the ball hard, worked
Yeah.
some at bats, questionable calls, stuff like that. So it's like I'll never react poorly. I'll never try and be a different person just because I went 0 for 4 that day because
Beautiful.
I
Yeah.
maybe lined out once or twice. So it's like I take more into account, but honestly, I pride myself more on my catching. Like if I feel good about what I did behind the plate that day, hitting will take care of itself at the end of a 140 game season,
Absolutely.
however that may be. So
Yeah.
it's like I'm putting all my effort into it. Of course, I'm taking every pitch into consideration. I'm looking into my hitting, but at the same time, like, did we control the running game? Did my pitchers execute? Like,
Yeah.
I'd rather pride myself on that than if I got 2 squib knocks that game.
Love that. Do you feel like there's a little less pressure on catchers offensively in the minor leagues? Like you can be a really good catch and throw guy and still progress if you can handle the bat a little bit, right? Or is
Yeah,
that
I
off?
think what you said, like handle the bat. If you can handle the bat, you definitely can uh, play anywhere. I mean,
Yeah.
it's a big thing in this game of if you can be able to manage a staff, if you can control a running game, if you
Yeah.
can uh, execute a game plan that the hitting will take care of itself. But I mean, at the end of the day, it is a results based game.
Yeah.
You won't be able to stay forever doing that, but
For sure.
that does kind of take a little pressure off. Definitely myself personally.
Yeah. How's your feel, man? How's the vibe, the atmosphere? Whole new shebang for you. What's going on
It's
there?
it's actually great. It's great.
Yeah.
I've always kind of been like that team leader, the team voice, and I feel like I kind of
Yeah.
have that here. Of
Hmm.
like first day, Maldi, our manager, kind of comes up to us and like, you guys are the leaders. If you guys got to rip someone, rip them. If you guys need to coddle someone, coddle them. Like, and that kind of gave me that
That's
like
the catchers? Is that he was talking
the
to the
catchers,
catchers?
yeah.
Okay.
So, and I took that personally of like, I've always done this my entire life, no matter if it's high school, college, whatever. So it's like, all right, I kind of feel like I can spread my voice kind of like I've always have. And I think that gives me like that confidence and that edge of like, all right, I'm going to play the game how I play it because that's how I'm going to do whatever we can to win.
Yeah.
And so it's pretty cool that like I can feel like I can truly be myself here.
Love that. Ooh, I love that, man. You got a good situation, my friend. So what is your routine now? When it's a home game in terms of like when you wake up to all the way when you get to the field and even up to game time. I'd love to hear kind of your process.
Yeah. So it's weird. Like spring training, you were getting up at 6, 5 some days. Like you, I was going to bed at 8 o'clock every night. And then I get here and I'm going to bed at 1, 2 in the morning.
Yeah.
But I have the ability to sleep until 10:30 every day. So it's like I'm sleeping a ton, which is so good for my recovery and
Absolutely.
super underrated. Like
Yeah.
it's super underrated.
Sleep is a superpower.
Yes. And so I try and sleep as much as possible. I try and am to be asleep 9 hours a night, in bed about for 10 hours. So I'll get to the yard around probably 11:30 for a 7 o'clock game.
Yeah.
And
Good
I
for
try to
you.
get
You get there early, buddy. Yeah.
try
Grinder.
and get there like a half hour to an hour before everyone else. And honestly, that's my me time. I'll grab a lacrosse ball, grab a foam roller, I'll go out to center field, I'll go out to the cages and kind of just take some time to me, journal, whatever I need to do just to like reset my mind for that day. That our coordinator said this yesterday is like, yesterday is history, tomorrow's the mystery, today's the present because it is a present.
Yeah. Yep.
And so,
Gift. Yeah.
yeah, oh, it's a gift, yes. So it's like I really kind of just reset, do whatever I need to do, and then we'll have a game meeting probably around 12:30 or 1 of like we go over clips of the last night's game, what could we do better, what did we do well, and then we'll go over the starting pitcher that day. Right after that, like what are his running game tendencies? What is his pitch tendencies? Stuff like that. What do we need to do as a hitter? And then we'll go to like early work hitting for like a half hour, and then I'll go do a lift, go work out, and then we'll go do like an individual defense of like whether if it's like bunt coverages that day, outfield cuts. Some days I'll do infield, kind of just like a routine aspect. And then it'll be on-field BP at like 4 o'clock on-field BP. And that's kind of like, if I'm catching that day, like I'll go hit, and I'll go in the locker room and go reset my mind. The athletic training staff here is incredible. I have a whole stretch routine that I go through before the game with them. They're very accommodating. It's easy. It's something that just kind of keeps me in that routine and just keeps me fresh, honestly. And then I'll go through a pregame catchers meeting. Like I'll have all the catchers and the manager. All right, this is the game plan. This pitcher's going to throw this. This is what we want to do. This is our execution with 2 strikes. This is what we want to avoid. These are these hitters that are hot, base runners that will run. And then I'll go do my like pregame catching routine. And man, it's pretty it's very detailed, but at the same time,
A lot of stuff, my man. Yeah, there is.
very detailed, but at the end of the day, like I enjoy it all, and I can go into the game every day and just leave it out on the field because I know I prepared the best. And I think given that like confidence and that mentality of like I've done everything I could, so this is what we're gonna then we're gonna do it again tomorrow.
Yeah. That's incredible. There's so much that goes into your daily process, especially as a catcher too. That's incredible. I think people don't realize how much goes into it, right?
Yeah.
I think they just kind of show up at the field and take BP and it's good to go. But like, there's so much.
No.
That's incredible. This is kind of an off the wall question. Do you ever? It's so easy to get lost, kind of in like the daily grind of things and the competition and am I doing well? Am I not doing well? I felt like you probably do, but do you ever have a moment where you're just like, oh my gosh, like I'm living my dream right now. Like I'm getting to do what I wanted to do ever since I was a little kid. And I like, do you have appreciation for that? You ever have those kind of stop moments like, oh wow, this is incredible.
So like that first time I get to the field, like that hour that I kind of take to myself, like that's kind of where I want to reset myself every day of like, I never want to get complacent. I never want to get in just like a routine where I check boxes off every day. So it's like, all right, where I always go back to like where I started. Like it sounds weird, it sounds cliche and stuff like that, but like it all started in Springfield. Like it's the same game. I'm doing what a lot of kids get to dream of. So I never want to take it for granted, and I never want to go into a day thinking like, I have to do this, I have to do that. No, I get to. It's an opportunity that I am blessed with, and that's what like I really want to pride myself on. Of like I reset myself, I reset my mind every day. Of like, all right, this is how it starts.
Yeah. Oh man, you have the best answers, dude. in-season lifting. You talked a little bit about it. How do you set that up? How many days a week? How hard are you
So
going?
I would say the strain of the workouts are very minimal. I
Yeah.
It'll be less than seven like workouts, or like it'll be less than three blocks. How about that? But it's called like an activation lift. So it's like I'm never doing as heavy as I can dumbbell bench press. I'll never squat heavy, but like I'll do enough weight and do it fast to the point where like, all right, I feel good going into the day, and over time, like this will just sustain my body over time.
Right.
And so yeah, it's probably 25, 30 minutes every day of like I'm either doing like an upper push, lower pull, or like a lower push, upper pull, and it's like I'm just trying to prime my body basically to take the stress of the day.
Are the Rangers directing this, or are you doing this on your own?
The Rangers are directing this, and that was incredible for me. Of like last year, we did like 2 days a week, really heavy. I'm like, this doesn't work for me. Of like, I can't work out 2 days a week because what if I'm catching one of those 2 days? Like that's
Destroyed,
putting me at a disadvantage for the game.
Mm-hmm.
And
Right.
now it's like, all right, if I get in this routine every day, like I know how my body's gonna feel. I'm
Exactly.
never really sore unless it's from the game,
Yeah.
but it's being able to maintain over a long period of time.
Love that. What are the last five recently played music things in your iTunes?
Oh man. Uh, The Great Divide, Luke Combs.
Mhm.
A lot of Luke Combs, Wyatt Flores. I'll put in Big X the Plug, just because like sometimes I need that little like get me up and go. Um, Zach Bryan's always a go-to, always. And then honestly, piano music. That's probably like when I need like some quiet time, like I'll just throw in some piano music. Only like when I read or like journal stuff like that, and I need like some calming stuff. Like that's probably in there too.
Love that. Have you picked did you have like a walkout music for batting this year?
Yeah. So my walkout song is "Bury My Bones" by Whiskey Myers.
Okay.
So kind of instrumental. Nothing crazy, but at the same time, I don't have that very loud personality on the field, so I don't need that kind of walk up song.
We're almost at the end here, man. This has been incredible. Do you have any goals for this year? Did you write down anything like that, or do you have anything like I want to do this?
I want to stay healthy at the end of the day. I know nagging stuff will happen every now and then, but obviously just staying healthy, be as at service to the team as much as possible. I think that's a big thing of like, I always want to be available, even if I'm not playing, available to the team.
Mm-hmm.
I think just, yeah, play as many games as possible. I think that's the best stat of like,
I love that.
it's not what you hit. It's like, all right, I played in 122 games at 140. Like I can go into that off season like, man, I can do this for a long time. Like if my body feels great at the end of the day, like I can do this. So it's like, I think that's another big goal of mine. Obviously, like you want to have the hitting accolades, but at the end of the day, I can't control them.
Right.
If I hit a ball at 108 and it goes 430 feet projected, but the wind's blowing in and it's an out, like
Right.
I can't control that. I did what my job was. So I think at the end of the day, like keep controlling the staff. I think a goal of mine is to see how many guys I can play with, go get sent up to high A, go get sent up to double A, especially pitcher wise, because like man, I helped propel their careers trending
Absolutely.
upwards.
Yeah.
So I think that'll be a big thing for me of like I can't control how I get sent up, if I get sent up, stuff like that, but I can control like putting these guys in the best position for their careers to go up. That's kind of the main goal of like my baseball career is like if I'm a big leaguer, like in my head I am. Like I eventually will be a big leaguer someday. And I kind of have to buy into that mindset. But my goal is to play with as many big leaguers as possible while they were in the minor leagues. Just see how like if I can have an influence on their careers of like going upwards and through the system.
Man, you got a beautiful soul, my friend. That is a great answer. Last one. I was so blown away with all your talk about your process last time in terms of like meditation, journaling, all these things. Are you still sticking with all that stuff? And have you added anything new, any new wrinkles since the last time we kind of talked?
Yeah, definitely the amount of times I do it throughout the week is different. I try and like meditate or get away every day. I'm not reading as much. I got 1 month left of school left, so
Wow.
kind of the work has picked up a little bit. So in my
You're
free
still
time,
doing schoolwork now?
yeah. So
Yeah.
yeah, I was up late doing homework last night and
Mhm.
doing assignments, but I graduate in a month, so
Well,
um,
congratulations.
thank you.
Yeah.
So that's kind of like where my main focus has been, and like when I'm done in a month, like I'll have 4 months left of my season, and we're like,
Yeah.
all right, now it's like now when you're not playing baseball, now it's time to reset, release, do stuff like that. But I still try to like find time away and um, yeah, stuff like that.
Love it, dude. Well, I got nothing else for you, man. We went about, I don't know, 50 minutes here. That wasn't too
Yeah.
bad, right?
No, no, this was great. I love talking about this stuff and
Cool.
love sharing it.
I was worried that you were going to feel like it was a distraction when I texted you, like you didn't want to be doing this during the season. But thank you for giving me a little bit of your time. I hope it's not. I would love to do this again. I think it's such an incredible idea to hear where you're at mentally as the season, as your pro career goes on. Like, I've
Yeah.
always talked to all these guys that their career is 20 years over. Like, you're in the thick of it, buddy. So I thought it would be really cool. And we've got a great back and forth. So I'd love to keep doing it if you're open to it.
No, absolutely. I love doing it. It's honestly,
Beautiful.
it's not a distraction or anything.
Cool.
It's great. It's great. I love it.
Cool, brother. Well, I don't have anything else. So you got anything you want to say before we get out of here?
Just I appreciate you having me on. It's great to see you again. Great to talk,
Yeah,
and
man. I
I love
appreciate
it.
you.
I love it.
Hey, do you have any thoughts on what you want to name this? I'm trying to come up with something clever about, I thought
Oof.
like maybe checking in with Ben or like, on deck or you got any thoughts? Anything off the top?
Um, Off the top of my head, maybe like a spring training check-in, stuff like that.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
Um,
That's good. You keep it simple like that. Yeah.
yeah, something like that.
All right. All right, brother. This is Ben Hartl. I'm Blake Helm, post game spread. We're going to be checking in with him throughout the season. This guy's incredible. I have anything else to say. We appreciate you guys. Post game spread. We're out of here. Cool, buddy.